Hi guys, I'm Kasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times together. Today I have for you an ebook book haul. I don't know about you, but since isolation started, I have been getting a couple of ebooks. It's just super tempting being home. You know, you browse Amazon a little bit much too often and then you end up buying a lot of ebooks once you see that the prices have dropped. So I'm here just to let you know a bunch of ebooks that I have purchased lately.
It's coffee time!
First I got Demon Seed by Diane Koontz, and this one, it's about a woman that feels super safe in her house, that has all of these security systems on place. She feels safe, she feels secured, but one day there is a breach in the security system and there is this kind of intelligence, artificial intelligence, that takes over everything electronic in her house and is terrorizing her. I absolutely love the idea. It kind of reminds me to a movie that I saw on Netflix, and so I'm really excited about this one. So I decided to grab it because I have not read all of his books, and I don't know if I'm gonna love all of them because I think for me he's an author that it's either a hit or a miss. And so I decided to grab this ebook and also another one by him. The other one is Midnight, and this is about a small town in which people start to change. Some people start to get detached to their emotions, other people are giving in to their wildest urges, and so the remaining that are not altered are kind of trying to survive and not be murdered by these other people that are changing their personalities. So this also sounds again fantastic, and another one that I would like to check out. The next one is The Tear Collector, another adult horror, but this one also is kind of more of a thriller, and this is about an autistic girl that disappears in the Appalachian community, and then there is a search that starts to look for her, and they start to discover darker things that they did not expect. This is one that has been on my radar for a while and I still have not checked it out, so I saw that they had it on sale as an ebook and I just decided to grab it. The next one is I Am Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells. I got this one actually because it was on sale as an ebook, and also because I watched the movie for the first time last year and I absolutely freaking love the movie. Christopher Lloyd is in it and it is such an amazing, interesting, dark story. So I thought I would give the book a try and see if I enjoy it. We're following a young boy, a teenager, that he's kind of obsessed with serial killers, and he asks himself if he would also be one or not, and he's familiar with dead bodies because he helps his family. They have a funeral home kind of thing where they do autopsies. And then in the town there is a couple of people that start to appear murdered, and it is just so fascinating to me. Like, the movie was so great that I want to give the book a try. I think this is a trilogy, so I hope they're not gonna disappoint me because I am obviously overhyped due to me loving the movie so much. So I hope it's still gonna be enjoyable for me. The next one is Empty Bodies by Zach Bohannon, and all I know about this one is that it is adult horror with zombies. So basically a lot of people suddenly collapse and then they raise again, but they are undead. So zombie story, it's supposed to be really gruesome, really descriptive and everything, so I am down for it. The next one is Dead Eye by Alyssa Day, and all I know is this is a mystery thriller, romantic, urban fantasy, something like that. So I have been meaning to read more urban fantasies because I have not read many, but I do kind of enjoy them as a guilty pleasure. And this is about a guy that is a shapeshifter and he has inherited kind of like a pawn shop slash investigation office from his uncle. I don't know much about it, but it was on sale on Amazon, so I thought I would give this one a try as an urban fantasy. Next we have Her Boldest Lie by Kelly Oud. This is a mystery thriller, and this is about a woman that allegedly told her daughter that her father was not in the picture, that he didn't want to know about her. But then the daughter grows up and she starts to discover that there is a lot more that her mother is hiding from her. So this is probably going to be one of those family drama slash thriller stories. And you know, I hope it's going to be good. With thrillers, we all know hit or miss. So I'm hoping this one's going to be a nice story. Next we have Something to Live For by Richard Roper. This is contemporary romance, but the plot sounded really interesting to me and different from other books. This is a guy that his work is basically to find the relatives of people that have been recently deceased and they don't have the next of kin to attend the funeral. And so he's basically always dealing with the dead. And he has created for himself a white lie of a life. He tells people he's married with 2 kids and this and that, but it's not true. And one day he realizes that between work and the lie, he has forgotten how to live himself. So I'm hoping that this is going to be more in the hard-hitting side of the contemporary, not so much on the romance, but we shall see. The next one is a trilogy that I wanted to read at some point, maybe. It is YA, and it is kind of Mean Girls meets mystery thriller. And I didn't want to own it as a physical, so I saw it on sale on Amazon, the 3 books, and I decided to pick it up. And that is Burn for Burn, Ashes to Ashes, and Fire with Fire by Jenny Han and Seo Van Vivian. I read by Jenny Han the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy, and I thought it was okay, it was fun. But I wanted to check this other one of her because in this one it's supposed to be more mean, with secrets and all of that and backstabbing, and I thought it might be nice when I'm in the mood for that kind of teenage drama. But like I said, I didn't want to own a physical copy, so when Amazon had them on sale, I was like, now's the time. Another one that I had the same kind of thinking was another YA contemporary romance that I thought maybe I would like to read one day, but maybe not. So I was not so sure, and I decided to pick it in ebook form, so I have it there in case that I want it. And that is Yes, No, Maybe So by Becky Albertalli and Aisha Saeed. I have read nothing by Aisha Saeed, but I have read by Becky Albertalli Simon vs. Homo Sapiens Agenda and What If It's Us that she co-wrote with Adam Silvera. I'm not completely against her writing or her stories. I tend to enjoy them, so I decided to pick this one up in case I'm in the mood for this type of a book at some point. The next one is An Absolute Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, and this was his debut novel. I have heard really good things about this one, and it is about a girl that overnight kind of turns into the social media celebrity, and I've heard it's kind of dealing with social media, with the dark sides of it. So I am interested on finding out more about this. I do love to read books that portray social media as something darker than we think. I just think they are super interesting as a topic. Next, I have a book that I saw recommended by Rachel over at the Shades of Orange, and she mentioned that this book is supposed to be something similar to It by Stephen King. So I was like, yes, please give me a copy of that. And I saw that Amazon had it on ebook available, so I decided to grab it, and that is Demon King by Eric Henry Vick. And I want to read you a little bit of the synopsis so that you understand why this is super similar to It by Stephen King. It says, only 3 children survived the terrors of Onega Falls, New York in 1979. So there were a series of children that were murdered that year. And then it says, 28 years later, they are drawn together to once again face the town's horrible secrets, the horde of demons infesting Onega Falls. So it's a group of children, some of them were murdered, and 28 years later, they go back to try to fight those demons again. Sounds a little bit like It by Stephen King, so I am super excited and pumped about this book. I don't know what to expect, to be honest, but I am really excited. The next one is The Extinction Trios by S.M. Wilson. I got the first book of the trilogy as an ebook because it was really cheap, and I always wanted to try this book out. I've always seen the cover and be like, oh yeah, I have to get to that book. And it is about a world in which basically your only really viable option to survive is to go through some really harsh trials. everything that has to do with tests, trials, and things like that. I'm a sucker for that. So I'm hoping that this is gonna be good. I've heard good things about it, so I decided to pick up the first book, and if I like it, then I'll continue with the trilogy. Next we have The Curse of Weatherly House by Amy Cross. Now, this is an author that has a lot of supernatural horror books out there, and I've always wanted to try them out, so I saw this one for sale on Amazon and decided to grab it. This is a story like your typical haunted house story. We have a girl that decides to spend the night in a supposedly haunted house with a friend, and I'm guessing what they will discover there is something darker than they expected, as I always say. I'm just expecting a pretty standard haunted house story, supernatural, and if I like it, then I might pick up other novels by the same author. And the last one, I just recently got this one, and is Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. I read her debut novel, The Poet X, and I really enjoyed it. I did not read her second novel, With the Fire on High, but I saw that her new release for 2020, which is this one, was for sale, and I decided to grab it. This is, I'm hoping, a really nice hard-hitting contemporary in which we have two girls that on a plane lost their fathers, and they have now to try to learn how to move on, and they kind of learn from each other. So I'm hoping it's going to be a really nice hard-hitting contemporary, and I do like her writing, so I am excited to get to this one. And these were all the ebooks that I have been getting recently. All of these I got during isolation, and it's helping me to build up a kind of extensive ebook library, if you might say, in my computer, which is, you know, can be pretty convenient also at times. Let me know down below what you thought about the books that I have picked up. Is there any there that you have already read, or one that maybe also caught your attention? Let me know in the comments down below. I hope that you enjoyed this ebook haul. I'm gonna be making more of these as I get more and more ebooks, and I hope that you enjoy them even though they're not physical books. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider to give it a big thumbs up for support, and if you want to follow me on the social media, the links as always down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!